Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eris Energy October. And while our upper atmospheric defense team seems to have been keeping the hurricane situation under wraps, we are watching for possible atmospheric whack-a-mole effects. And I gotta say, offhand, with all the gas giants on the same side, every major East Coast earthquake has come under that circumstance. And so it looks like Mother Nature is set to pick on the northeast coast again, probably through this weird fall and into the winter. What I'm trying to say here is what Cranky Weather Guy has been pointing out for a couple of days now. You got a couple energetic pieces that are going to form up and meet somewhere around New York, Boston, New Jersey, New Hampshire. And this is one of them. And I think it's going to extend backwards into Texas. And so it's going to cause a heavy rain situation over the next 48 hours for people in the southeast. Something to stay aware of. Joy and pain, sunshine, and some rain for the Dakotas, parts of Winnipeg. And this will probably move into Minnesota with some snow. This is another piece of energy. So you got a whole lot of moisture wrapping it up in a non-sexual way, combining with some upper atmospheric energy that's going to make the whole situation a bit untenable for some people. Look at all that moisture down by the volcano range, which would be Popocatépetl, Colima, Fuego. Yeah, so we're going to have an interesting last 2.5 weeks of October. Prepare for heavy wetness into the northeast coast of Texas, around Houston, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, up into New Hampshire, and then up in the northeast Pacific area, parts of Washington, Canada, and Oregon, I do imagine. How about you, Idaho? Yeah, you get some red too. And this is some orange, which indicates a higher value of rain. It's a pretty strange storm. It's like a Landicane, nor'easterish pressure pop out. I don't even know what to call it. But let's take a look at it, shall we? Let me drag this thing down. This is the Euro's computer model draw out of the event. As we can see the energy break across the Midwest on Wednesday. And then we can see it well up through Georgia's North Carolina with some heavier bands of straight winds through Virginia, Washington, D.C. It brings some heavy wind to New York, Boston, and then creates a big old nasty storm up kind of through the northeast. No matter what, it looks like it's going to be pretty windy for you guys up in the Yankee land. I say that, I was born in Illinois. And so that is the Euros look at it. People are trying to piece together the parts because it does seem like this can be a pretty major storm with some pretty serious wind values. Why am I using the word values so much in this video? I don't know. Maybe I will buy myself a digital thesaurus this Christmas. Christmas is only like 2 months away. That's wild, huh? And 2 months and a week. 2 months and a week and a half. But you can see some of the wind energy coming out towards South Carolina. GFS keeps most of it offshore. GFS is more like a better case scenario, bringing the worst case scenario to Nova Scotia, Manitoba, who's already going, wait, is that not Manitoba? St. John, and I think Manitoba's to the west. And I got to remind you guys, this is going to be a wave after wave after wave pattern. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another Santa Ana wind event before the month is out. Hopefully you guys will get some precipitation soon. King Weather Twitter himself saying, I'm talking about Cranky Weather Guy, slowly but steadily evolving. Tomorrow remains the day of significant developments and tracking. Today, just more of the same. Here's the pieces, and they're moving that way. It is the same waiting game ongoing here for the third night in a row. Tomorrow it starts to develop, uptick, and some interaction begins. But check this out. As the storms are starting to pile up in the Pacific Northwest of the United States and Canada, you got two major upside-down sixes pushing in, and so the storms are about to be upon us, wave after wave after wave, although the waves will be intense and with little time in between. When I say little time, I mean 3 to 4 days. Ladies love the models, and we aim to please. I need a better catchphrase than that. This is the GFS. You can see the GFS taking the worst of that storm, more to the north and to the east, but we got a super nasty mega storm coming on the 23rd, and then another one coming right after that. And so it looks like for the Midwest to the East Coast of the United States, we are going to get some pretty nasty storms. We're talking about 3 to 4 big ones in a 2-week period. Looks like the biggest one being on the 23rd-ish. Once again, we get the Gulf of Mexico moisture combining with the upper Pacific Northwest moisture to create a major storm. And this extends all the way from Mexico through Texas, all the way up through the Midwest, and then slowly moves to the east, bringing some nasty rain to everybody. And that is a nasty frame right there of mixed precipitation. And if you look at the isobars as they are close together, that means you'll be getting some serious winds as well. So, and that is only a few days after the big storm we're watching into this weekend. And then only a few days after that, 2 days, dang, the storm moves fast. You get another big storm that has gravitated just a little to the east, bringing more heavy rain. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty brutal wave after wave situation. Now, what I'm going to do here, if you don't mind, we're going to look at the accumulated precipitation forecast. And so, yeah, that's some pretty heavy values across the board, because the red signifies 7 inches of rain, 8 inches of rain. And you're talking anywhere from 5 to 7 inches, 8 inches of rain for about 33% of the United States. And maybe 40%. I don't know. I'm not good at numbers all the time. And then you're getting some heavy rain up through Oregon and Washington, Idaho. Is that Wyoming? I love you. You guys are great. And so it looks like, yeah, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi are going to have some wet spots. Yeah, so we're getting our mid-fall super rainy period, I guess. And it looks like some heavier rain for these areas around here. The atmospheric energy and precipitation coming out of Mexico, including the moisture, is going to bring some seriously heavy rains for the southeast. I just wanted to reiterate that again, because look at the big puffy clouds. I tried to go over the science term, but that didn't happen. So how did you guys enjoy the full moon? It was cloudy here. It's been cloudy. And if people are like, is it going to rain? I'm like, eventually. It's always a safe answer. But yeah, no, I definitely think it's going to bring some heavy rain to parts of northeast Texas, and then parts of like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And so y'all need to be on high alert, because although the maps say 5 to 7 inches over a 2-week span, I think we all know that there are always areas that get much higher amounts than were predicted. And, you know, so it's going to be a very energetic situation. Throw in some glitches on top of our weird weather warning watches. Thanks. Because when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and people get a little strange. And the sun has definitely been odd since 2012, and definitely 2015. And I'd like to say, if you've never seen the show Silicon Valley on HBO, it's definitely one of my favorite 3 sitcoms of all time. I'd say Cheers, Friends, and Silicon Valley is a great show for really smart people who like to laugh and want to kind of understand what can be the meaner Asperger aspect of the Silicon Valley set. Though we love you guys. Philly weather. Side by side, Euro versus GFS. Euro amplified, stronger, closer in with storm. Thus, heavier rain, stronger winds. GFS is progressive, weaker with storm, and further east. Thus, lighter rain and not as windy. You know, the models are crapshoot, so we will have to watch. But it does seem like we have the first atmospheric defense and shield we ever had was around New York. Makes monetary sense. And so usually they don't get the worst of the stuff. And so I would definitely be on alert if you're anywhere around it. But this is definitely one to watch. We got an anomalous tropical storm coming off of Africa. But it seems like they got the hurricanes under control. Regardless, Anthony Siciliano letting us know that Mother Nature still aims to pick on the Northeast for some reason. And another reason to be looking out for anomalous earthquakes. Upper level and rapid surface depiction of a transfer to primary coastal storm, then barely rapid intensification. If you are into weather, this will be fascinating to watch. Later Wednesday into Thursday, all of this happens in 18 hours. So yeah, we're talking about a nor'easter Bombogenesis, but warm storm that could bring some pretty serious winds, lightning, rain, depending on which areas it hits. We've had a record snowy start for the northern Rockies and Plains. Winter is still 2 months away. And this Earthosmic DLT, hot side hot, cool side cool, lava lampy weather period known as the 21st century. And if I'm acting weird or weirder than normal, it's because I think the full moon energy's got me all charged up in strange ways. So I just wanted to say that y'all are awesome. I appreciate you. And let's do our best to stay cool. All right? God bless everyone. I'll try to return to normal. Peace out.